So Chloe Shih apparently made $15,700 for March 2024, according to this one website called YouTubers.me. These numbers, I think, looking at it from a professional standpoint, seem pretty accurate to me, but there is a chance that it's off, where it basically shows kind of like her earnings. And today we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a slight deep dive into how she started off her YouTube journey and how you might be able to start your YouTube journey if you are a product manager or if you are working in tech, and basically whether or not her game plan could work for you. My name is Rich, and in today's channel, we're talking about tech side hustles. Most of you know me basically as the founder of Product Gym, where I help people land the highest paid product manager jobs in the industry, or you might know me as one of the co-founders here of Elevate Cybersecurity and the Tech Sales Program, where we help people make a transition into tech sales and cybersecurity. As of the last year and a half, I basically added one more mission profile to my life, which is helping tech professionals move into kind of building their own personal brand, learning how to monetize off of it. And then on top of that, what are other ways they can go out there and monetize their knowledge, right? Whether it be branding, content, courses, affiliate income, selling digital products, coaching, consulting work, you name it, we basically showed a little bit of a curriculum on how to go ahead and do it. In today's video in particular, though, everybody that's in product management knows of Chloe Shih. If you don't, she is a former product manager over there at Discord. She left her position February 2024, which is a little bit over a year ago. Currently, right now, she's got about 136,000 followers on LinkedIn. She's got 454,000 followers over here on TikTok. On YouTube, where she started promoting most of her personal brand content, is about 378,000. Where she absolutely crushes it is Instagram, which is she has more than 1 million followers. As of right now, including all these different channels, she also has, to the best of what I can see, she also seems to be having, and I could be wrong about this, and I could be wrong about a lot of things actually. She could also be an influencer or brand ambassador with LinkedIn. So let's go ahead and answer the following questions. In this video today, we're going to go ahead and cover who she is, what she used to do. On top of that, I'm looking at my other monitor. What was her game plan coming out of the gate? And then could you go ahead and actually replicate this framework for yourself? I largely think you can, because we pulled up basically, because I mentioned before, we have about 3 other programs that we market out here. So there's a ton of product management influencers, there are cybersecurity influencers, there are also tech sales influencers. And I'm looking at the year that these videos were posted, and we're cross-referencing it with the Chloe Shih videos, and I can tell you that looking at the thumbnails, which will take a little bit of a dive in, thumbnails, the YouTube channel, total video count, also the subscribers, along with also the views that she has, and cross-reference it with the industry, it seems like, because we're seeing people doing it after she's done it, it seems like her game plan has been replicated across the industry for people that want to go ahead and escape the 9-to-5 grind of working in tech and going into becoming more of an influencer in tech and then not really having to work anymore. So I'll go ahead and tell you, stay until the very end of the video. I'll show you basically how these people exited tech utilizing, I don't know if I can call it her blueprint, but basically it seems like she's one of the original pioneers. Maybe she took it from somebody else. That I don't know. Now, to be very clear about what it is that we're talking about here, this is not a takedown piece. We at Product Gym, we love Chloe. My entire team loves Chloe. As a fellow Asian American who's also in the space, this is not to insult her, not to disrespect her, not to offend her. I want to be very careful about that. In fact, this is actually, I think, the 6th or 7th take that I've done it. Usually when I record a video for product management and cybersecurity, I'll just go. Like this is a hate this is a hate channel. Like this entire Reddit channel, which is like dedicated to, like, it's the premier space for snarking Asian overseas and American YouTubers and influencers. Rules, be respect Asian influencers only. I was like, I don't think snarking, the last time I checked the English dictionary, is not a very good verb. But if you guys want, like, this is hate comments galore. No, this is basically, we wanted to go out there and do this because I've been getting so many people that's graduated our programs, and they're like, I want to go ahead and make money on YouTube. I want to go ahead and make money, building a course, Rich. Like, what can I go ahead and do? And I thought I'd make some more content into this because not from her, but I have a lot of people that are part of my program that have graduated. As you can see, I'm going to take some time to go out there and flex it out. They've been bagging up jobs, and they're thinking already about, like these guys right here. They've bagged up jobs already. They're thinking about what they're going to go ahead and do next. I won't name any names, I constantly hear from tech professionals and product managers, I've reached out to this person, Rich. They won't reach back out to me. Could you go ahead and intro me? And I think it's largely because a lot of them have already done so many coffee chats with people that they don't care to do it anymore. But regardless, hopefully you can use this form as a reference, and I'll show you how to get access to this at the end of the video if you want. But let's go ahead and take a look. So I'm going to go back right here. This is what our team in Korea studies all day. But you can go out there and toggle latest, popular, and basically oldest. The first video that she made was about 4 years ago, which is 20,000 views, 31,000 views, 25,000 views, 10,000 views, 12,000 views, 10,000 views. And then it really didn't hit up for her until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos later. Her 8th video, she shot up into 558,000 views. Now, this is actually, I think, very important for us to go ahead and address, because during this time, if you take a look at her average video length is about anywhere between 3 minutes over to 17 minutes. And this is the video where she basically printed, it's clear she did more views than all the other 7 videos combined. I'm not a math whiz, but I do know 20, 31, 25, 10, like that doesn't equal anywhere near. I think tops out, you got maybe 100,000 views, where she has basically 558,000 views here. So what did I do as a product manager? Now, the next video where it kind of propelled that was how to break into product management. So that's major video number 2. And then she goes off into doing some more lifestyle content. Now, why I just quit my product manager job at TikTok. That one basically got her another shoot up. Okay, how I decided what company to work as a product manager. That one did well, but not as well as these. These are triple digits, right? These are Steph Curry numbers right here. 1, 2, 3. But I think where it goes down, like how I learned to negotiate salary. Okay, and then let's go ahead and take a look at honest career advice about Q&A, what it really takes to be a product manager. Day in my life as a product manager. I think this is where she hit a stride. And then if you take a look at all the other data below, it's doing great, but work day in the life of a product manager, that's another one that printed. The apartment tour, I did an apartment tour recently too from my house, my place right here in Seoul. And then I proposed to my boyfriend. I have to leave my job. This did well, but where she really got her next hike was basically this: I got laid off. 232 views. And basically, if you take a look at it right here, this is where she basically had.
Wouldn't it be cool if building...
This was dropped. This was basically dropped in, I think, January 24th. And from what we can see from the YouTube site, she's basically has, from May 24th, she did about 15,000. And then it was April 2024 was about 5,900, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 and change, 1,000 and change, 756, 1,000, 3,000, 600. Okay, so you can basically see by these averages. I don't have the data in terms of the information before that, and I don't know how accurate this data is. So we went on Perplexity, And it seems like, okay, January 2024, February 2024, and this was like her biggest shoot up. So what can we attribute to that? Basically, a few things. Number one, it takes YouTube. It's not like, I could have 100,000 people watching my thing like right now. It takes YouTube like about I think like at least like a week and a week and a half, depending on the region. Right now, I'm currently based in Korea, so it's a little bit different for us. But about like a week and a half, sometimes up to 2 weeks to basically aggregate all of that data over. And then they take a look at a few other data points like retention. But she also had was starting to drop more content. Oh, there we go. Give me a second here. If you take a look, we got married, my new life. So you basically have all this. But by this point, home office tour, you basically have kind of like your whole setup here. So I'll tell you this. The videos that you basically need, and that's just the long form. We haven't even aggregated the shorts. In terms of the shorts, this is where she prints. 14 million views, 9.3 million views, 3.8 million views, 2.8 million views, 4.1 million views, and then 2.4 million views. And she does a lot of it, she does a lot of just like pure editing, like is on the next level. If you take a look at latest, let me see here, 130,000, and now it's just basically lifestyle content. So the real conversation right now is, okay, how can it work basically for you? How can you go ahead and do this? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you this much. This company here, well, these two guys here, Leveling Up with Eric, and basically, if you don't know these, like, this is Neil Patel. He's like considered like a digital marketing god. It's called Marketing School. It's pretty crazy right now that like the world of marketing is studying what tech and product management and tech influencers are doing, because when I got into the space, I'll be very, very blunt. I knew if somebody paid for my program, I can get them a product manager job. I also knew I had enough energy, tenacity, and personality to go out there and sell them. But like any other business, the thing that I stressed out about the most when I started the business was how to get people to go ahead and find me. And what she did very well was she basically created a lot of content where she wasn't asking for anything. She's just basically giving you just insight into her life and into kind of like Chloe's world. So what I would say the 6 topics are that prints cash for you if you want to get into and we're going to be analyzing, I'm starting a whole tech influencer series, is when you're analyzing the influencers, the thing that people really want to go ahead and see is this. What do you do as a product manager, as a software engineer, as, day in the life of this, day in the life of this, day in the life of this? Those 2 titles, you can go ahead and actually use it more than one time. So day in the life, what do you do? The next thing that people are very curious about is your salary. Why? Because you have to go out there and be loud in a very, very quiet space. For most people, they would not feel comfortable talking about money. Yet, it's also the one thing that people are really curious about because nobody else is freaking talking about it. Because nobody else is talking about it, you are now positioning yourself as the one person that's talking about something that a lot of people want to know, but yet nobody else is talking about it. So you're like that one Asian restaurant that's kind of mid in a neighborhood where there's not a lot of Asian restaurants, but there's a lot of people that's willing to go out there and pay for Asian food. So versus like, that's blue ocean. You don't want to go ahead and compete in red ocean, which is like being another all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue buffet on a street where there's 100 other all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue buffets. So she's figuring out her data first, like if we're talking about being strategic. So a day in the life and how much money you want to go out there and make. The second thing here is she's also talking about Content that also does very well is teasing that she's quitting, or she's about to go ahead and quit, or she actually quits, or she gets laid off. Everybody loves some type of transition, whether it's voluntary or involuntary, because the truth is, most people just don't like their life and they'd rather be living somebody else's life, right? So if you have some type of transition content, that's also hot. Home workstation, and she does one where it's just like, she talks about like kind of like her overall like home tour. Okay. People love that. That has already been proven since MTV Cribs. Okay. The fifth thing is like her like work setup, like how she's getting stuff done. Boom. That's basically the only 5 that you basically need. I will go ahead and basically prove this with you with the other influencers that we basically scraped out here. And I'll show you across multiple different like influencers. Again, this is not a takedown piece against anybody else, but let's take a look at Lillian Chu, business analyst. You'll see this lady here. Let's take a look at it. What's the most popular? Day in the life. 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 And yes, you can do more than one day in the life. Day in the life. How I landed. So there's always going to be the point A, and then you want to go ahead and have part of your origin story of, well, what was not from point A to point B, but like where were you before point A? Like there was a time when point A, your current point A, was your point B. How did you come about this? Boom, done, and done. So office tour. So she's actually doing pretty well in this too. But day in the life, day in the life, day in the life, day in the life, day in the life. You also have, let's go out there and tease quitting. Quitting. Boom. People love quitting. Tour. Okay. You'll actually have day in the life, more day in the life, more day in the life. Now let's talk about salary. And then you'll have some salary content here. Now, just in case you're wondering, well, could this work for me? Let me go out there and show you. Okay. So this is somebody that we study in tech sales. So same thing. Let's take a look at the most popular. I quit. So he's a tech sales influencer. I quit. Okay. Day in the life. Tech sales Q&A. Okay. Is it worth it? Day in the life. Day in the life. Day in the life. Okay. And they're just basically putting like how to get into tech sales. Let's take a look at like so this is also another tech sales influencer. And he created this we're the number one tech, so you don't actually have to like, there's so many different ways you can go out there and play it. The link to this spreadsheet basically is all gonna be in my WAP channel, where I'm showing you basically how to go ahead and how to monetize with WAP and basically other side hustles. And I have all the information like this, along with a few other things here like Instagram cheat codes. I'm going to be dedicating more time into this. So if you guys want to come through, just know that we have an early bird special, but before I go out there and raise the rates. But it's all over there, but I'm creating more content because I know people are interested in this area. But, tech bootcamp to 6 figures, my workday as a sales engineer, what is a sales engineer? And so if you're thinking like, hey, can I go out there and work out for me? It absolutely can work out for you. But in today's market right now, where it's a little bit more saturated, let me tell you what's the best way to do it. The best way is to actually join WAP and to get into our community to promote each other. So what we basically found out, and I'm doing the same thing basically for myself, just general Richard Chen content. I got like about 8 YouTube channels right now, but let's talk about this for a second. We took all of the titles that worked out well, that we scraped up, and we basically did a podcast where we're talking about those same things, like how to transition to product management with no experience. So day in the life of a startup versus a big tech product manager. How much do product managers actually go out there and make? We're actually taking all of those content right now, and we're actually doing podcasts with it. So, and we're dropping it hard, fast, and furious. Why is that? This actually takes time to go out there and aggregate. So if we go back to do like 100,000 views right now is gonna take you about a year, regardless which one of these people you are. It's gonna take you a year. Mind you, like the oldest one that she had was like 4 years. She was dropping content for, this was 4 years, 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 3 years, boom. Okay, so it took 1 year to basically get here, right? It took 1 year to basically get here. So you want to go ahead and start on it as soon as possible. The best way to start on it is to get more exposure, to get like onto somebody else's platform. This is actually why, like, in the world of Korean entertainment, they fight so hard to dominate the charts of like Netflix and Spotify. It's because, and YouTube, once you're on there, your brand gets propelled. With Chloe right now, she is such a brand herself, but it took her a long time to get there. If you were to go ahead and do it right now, which you should, because people are wondering, like, well, should I do it in a group with other product managers, or should I do it by myself? I would say regardless, you should still do it by yourself, but you absolutely have to do it with a group of other product managers for the following reasons. Number one, you could believe what I say right now, or you could think what I'm saying is total bullshit. The truth of the matter is, when you're on this podcast like now, like these two guys here, they have a dedicated time where they're actually just reviewing like other people's stuff, right? They're studying other people's funnels. We have a dedicated day every single week where we're just meeting up as a group. I could tell you, I'd be procrastinating on it if I was doing it myself, because I didn't even want to do it for my own channel, but people actually have to get to know you more as a brand right now. So like, I would totally recommend for people, stop focusing on being perfect, get in part of our group and just start doing it, because now you have a dedicated time where you're constantly going to just be talking about like, you're constantly just going to be talking about how to go out there and build your perfect brand. Because the day's going to go by before you know it, the week's going to go by before you know it, you might as well just go out there and start dropping content. So with that said, I'll go out there and kind of recap for you everything that we just talked about. What she was a product manager. Right now, she's fully exited product management and pretty much, I don't think, has to go out there and try to get another job. If she wanted to go ahead and get another job, I've been saying this for years, product management, like your future resume in tech is going to be your YouTube channel, your TikTok channel, your LinkedIn, and your Instagram, because that number right here is basically what's going to get you jobs. That number right here. It's like, well, are we equating followers with whether or not you're being a good product manager? Unfortunately, yes, because companies like brand ambassadors right now. You know, in this like whole stack of like just hate comments, like some people say like, you know, oh yeah, like this person here, I don't know if it's true, but is claiming to have worked with her before. Like, it doesn't matter like whether or not you think she was good at her job or not, because I know from a former tech recruiting background that people that have a brand, you're less likely to get laid off, and even after you get laid off, it turns out to be a blessing because you end up just printing cash. You just end up printing cash. So like, all that stuff said and done, the description of WAP is in the description. The link to WAP is in the description. I'll go out there and look forward to seeing you on our next podcast. Let's get it. Next week, not next week. I think we're dropping this in 2 days. We're going to be dropping another influencer for you guys to go out there and analyze. Okay, talk to you soon.